Well, we were gonna do an update video on the RX-8, and I was gonna like pull it out of the garage and put it to the other garage so it was like nice and warm, and we could like talk about it and show you an update. But I had this thing on a charger all night, and still does not want to do anything. I was just, so it says it's charged. I'm not really sure. It's like everything should be charged up here. Everything was connected, right? I don't know. Give her another whirl here. And just as soon as I click it over, she just nothing. Well, shit. All right, so I just reconnected everything again. Now the charger tender thing is saying that it's charging and it's only got like 2% power. So I don't know if it didn't maybe have a good connection last night. It was just actually on the wires and not actually making contact with the battery or what. But we're gonna let this sit here. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to back it out into the other driveway and show you guys, but we're still gonna do an update video on this thing because a lot has happened and a lot has changed in the last couple of months here. So I want to just kind of give you guys an update where the RX-8 is. It's still alive, it's still here, and I still plan on doing things with it. So let's take a look. So as you can see, elephant in the room here, the car is black again. It's no longer bright blue, except for a couple spots that I gotta get to yet, specifically the door handles and under the mirrors and whatnot. But the car is back to its original color, and I lost all my fitment. There's no fitment. They didn't tell me when I left that I had to give back the fitment. That's a joke. So what I want to do is actually get the whole kit like paint matched to the black that's on this car, because I really like this color and I think that this paint can be saved a little bit. I know there is like a lot of swirls and stuff on here, but I do think with like a good detail, and obviously there's a lot of stuff on here from the wrap yet, but with a good detail, this paint can be saved a little bit. And I think it looked really good in black. The original plan for the car was to wrap it black, but I listened to everybody and everyone was like, no, if you're gonna wrap a car, don't wrap it the same color. And I listened to that, so I went with the bright blue. I love the color, but originally I always wanted this car to be black because I think it looked killer with the body kit, and then just this color black on it. So as the car sits, you know, it needs a couple of things. Unwrapping the car, obviously, we did take a little bit of some of the paint off, specifically the bumper area, which I guess with this old of a car and, you know, who knows what this thing has gone through as far as like paint or potential accidents or whatever, you know, obviously that's gonna happen. But really that was like the only spot. The rear bumper is what got it the most, specifically right here and right here. Some of like the top came off. Other than that, looking at the trunk, obviously we had the big freaking wing on this thing, left some pretty gnarly holes in there. I don't know if we're gonna try to maybe just get a new trunk or if we can find something that would maybe cover those up. I had thoughts of like maybe trying to make my own duckbill spoiler for this thing that would have been like really big, kind of like, you know, come down and wrap up through here. You know, with my 3D printer and things like that, I've seen people make molds for fiberglass parts. I think that would be really cool to try. And I mean, what a perfect candidate, you know, sitting right here. So we might try to do something with that. Like I said, might just get a new trunk. I don't know. We also have under the hood here, so it's missing a lot of the plastics and stuff to get the battery cover off. You gotta take like the engine cover off and all that sort of stuff. So it looks a little gnarly under here. But one thing that has always bugged me about this car is there's like this insulation. And it looks terrible because I'm pretty sure at one point there was like mice or something, or just like pure deterioration of that stuff. It just looks absolutely awful. And I know people have gone into these cars and have torn that out, and I think that would clean up the look of this a lot. Maybe just clean up this whole engine bay a little bit, and then, you know, the covers do cover a lot of this stuff. But we got our new intake in here. That's kind of new. Absolutely love the sound of that thing. That's a really deep sound of the intake on this car. It sounds incredible. But one of the things that has been bugging me most about this car, and something that I've never taken care of from when we first did the initial, you know, build series on it, was where the hell is the trunk release in this thing? I can never remember where the trunk release is. Oh, it's down here somewhere. There it is. Is the trunk setup. So this car is on Airlift Performance, has D2 air struts, all that sort of stuff. But this is just like the current setup that we're rocking with. We're literally just got like a board kind of secured into place and everything is just sitting on top of it. And it looks okay, like it does what it needs to, but I'd really love to get something a lot nicer, a lot cleaner, set up in here for the air setup. So, and potentially I'd love to even go to a 2 compressor setup, because this does the job, but 2 compressors life is kind of where it's at for air suspension setup. So like I said, not terrible, but I want something a lot cleaner. I want to clean up these lines a lot more, and I just want to get rid of this stupid MDF board if I can. Like that just, you know, is covering it in some sort of material or building like a new sort of box for it or something. I don't know. I got a couple friends that are really good with trunk setups. I might hit them up just to see if they can help me out a little bit. But this is another thing that has been bugging me a little bit about this car. Oh, we still got wrapping here. RIP. So if you guys have watched any of the other videos with me being in the garage and stuff, I'm sure you've noticed just parts laying all over, as any other, you know, good garage should. But one thing, we got the side skirts that are sitting kind of back here. So one thing that was bugging me super bad with the RX-8 wrapped in the blue is that, yeah, I did it myself, and it was my first time wrapping anything, but honestly, I thought it turned out pretty good. Like, the overall car itself turned out really good. It was just some of the little things, like the side skirts, that just drove me absolutely nuts. So, whatever material that these things were made out of, I'm sure we can kind of see it here. If I pull these out, I'm gonna set it on the old garage couch. But you can see where, I'm pretty sure this is like some of like the mold release stuff that they put on there. It's like a coating that they put over it so that it releases from the mold a lot easier. It's causing a lot of issues with the wrap actually adhering to the side skirts, and I've rewrapped them literally like 3 times, and they look good for like maybe a day, and as soon as they like get outside or change in temperature or anything like that, they just start bubbling and lifting. And I tried adhesion promoter, but I never tried like sanding it down, and I probably should have done that. But at the end of the day, what we ended up doing is just taking everything off and unwrapping the entire car. As you can see, we got the rest of our body kit over here. So we got our fender flares, which are the nice Lions Kit V1 fender flares. I absolutely love this kit. For like $1,000 to get this kit, you cannot go wrong. The actual quality of that kit is insane for what you get. You might have to wait a little bit because they're like on the other side of the world, but the overall quality, the fitment, super good. Like, it comes ready to go. We really didn't have to do much modification at all to get the kit to fit, except for, you know, when we put the super wide wheels on it, had to trim a little off, but that's probably expected. So yeah, the RX-8 itself is in a bunch of different pieces right now, and that is intentional. I wanted to do this thing the right way, the way I wanted to the first time that we did anything. So unfortunately, that meant that we had to tear everything down, tear the blue off of it, tear the body kit off of it, and leave it in the cold garage. The 240 has like water for coolant, and I can't let it sit out in the cold garage, otherwise like the engine will crack. So we gotta get that switched out with coolant before, you know, it gets super, super cold here. But the other garage heated. This one is not. This is like where we keep all the tools and exhausts and spare parts and Outback wheels, because I never get rid of stuff in the old Husqvarna. But here's how the RX-8 sits right now. There's nothing like honestly too wrong with the car. It still runs great. It's treated me super, super well. I absolutely love driving this thing. And my plan for this next year is to like continue doing that, continue enjoying this car for what it is, get it out to some more shows. I think I went to like 1 local show with this car last year, and that was pretty sad because like I put a lot of stuff into this car, and I put a lot of time into this car, like myself. I've experienced so much with it. I want to take it places. I want to go drive it. Like taking it down to Gatlinburg the first year that we did everything to it was an absolute dream. Being able to drive this thing around in the mountains out there, cruise with a bunch of friends, meet up with people who like gave me help with this platform specifically, you know, with like the Sone adapter and all that sort of stuff. That is what makes, you know, me absolutely love this car. So ideally what the plan moving forward is I want to get the body kit paint match, and I plan to attempt to do that myself. Now that might be an absolutely terrible idea. I've never painted anything before in my life, but at the same token, I've never wrapped anything before in my life either, and it turned out somewhat okay. So, I mean, it's like a matter of a couple parts. I feel like if I do fuck it up, it can be easily fixed. So we're gonna try our hand at that coming up very, very soon here. I just gotta source the paint. I'm gonna try to go buy like one of like the cheap Harbor Freight guns, because I've seen a lot of videos on those things and they actually deliver somewhat surprising results for like a super cheap paint gun. And I want to see like how much of a budget we can do this on. So how much of a budget can we get this car looking a lot better? So if you go buy, you know, your own body kit and you want to put it on your car yourself, but you don't want to pay, you know, thousands of dollars to get that kit painted, how much would it cost to like actually sit down and do it yourself with your own supplies and your own time? So we're gonna attempt that, right? And that's because I want to eventually lead up to repainting the 240 as well. I want to get that thing looking a little bit better. And again, I want to try it myself. I'm always down to learn new things, and what better way to learn than just literally diving in head first? So that's the plan. Also, when we bought this place, it came with a super old radio in this garage, and I never tried it. I want to try it. Oh, it's got a light too.
I think two extreme viewpoints.
Oh God!
In this
No,
matter.
we don't want that. There we go. What the hell? Oh.
Duke FM is WGEE
No?
New London.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you know, there you have it. There's a little update on the RX-8 for you. So she's still alive, she's still well. She may just be in a little more pieces than normal, but it's all for a good reason. Like I said, I want to do this thing the right way, the way that we didn't do it the first time around, and fix some things that just bug me a little bit and get this thing looking absolutely killer. So if you guys want to follow along with that, make sure to subscribe to this video, like this video, share it with your RX-8 buddies. I know there's some of you out there. Not everyone hates this car, I think. I'm trying to get that across, that these cars are actually kind of cool. They're just a little bit different, but it means the world. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.